Hello, everybody. I'm your storyteller, Caden, and welcome back to What the Crypt. This is Chapter 3 in our adventure, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And let's get right into it, because we have some very juicy details to get into. So last where we left off, the party just captured Kettlestein, and Boogie Woogie cleverly illusioned a big old curtain around them to where they can interrogate her. So once they kind of find out some more information about Kettlestein's backstory, just like, who she is or what she is, and she is a shape changer, and why is she doing all this? She's just doing this just for the love of the game of aiding. Respect. But the real reason why she's doing this is to mess with the mood meter, to affect the carnival, because she doesn't exactly care for Witch and Light, who were her former employers. But anyways, we asked if there's any way that we could do something about Witch and Light, like why does she not like them? She expressed that her patron, Zabilna, ring-a-ding-ding on the lore meter, tasked her to go scout out the place to go see because something was nefarious was happening. So she figured out that Witch and Light made a deal with some people called the Hourglass Covenant, and she found a portal between the two realms, the Feywild realm and the realm that they're in currently, and that it is located somewhere within the carnival, which the party knows. So Boogie Woogie traps her in the card and just kind of keeps her along with us, just for, in case they need to question about anything. So now they start heading towards the illusionary hall to give Candlefoot his voice back. So once they kind of start passing by, they see this doll in a glass box, and they see passerbys walking around, and they somehow break into laughter for no apparent reason. And one person in particular, a couple actually, go there, and the man gets on one knee and asks this lady to marry him, that she has been the love of his life. And you know what the lady does? She laughs in his face. Full of shame, much like Candlefoot, he runs right into the Hall of Illusions. But guess what? He didn't punch his ticket. Oh no! So Candlefoot, looking at us, was pointing desperately to go get him. And as the party goes in, they look around and they see the mirrors. And it's all of their younger selves. Strange. And as the party goes deeper within the labyrinth of mirrors, they kind of get older and older. For instance, we can see Pippin as just a progressively older lizard and kind of just molting his skin as he goes along, and soon dead, as he kind of mumbles to himself, "I'm not going to live long." Then, later on, Boogie Woogie, joking now with Kettlestein about how she's going to be stuck with him for a while, jokes about how they're probably going to have to live together. And right as they're going past it, they can see a bright white house with a white picket fence, and Boogie Woogie and Kettlestein standing there, hand in hand, with 3 little Kanku kids right in front of them. Kettlestein says, "Oh, absolutely not," and Boogie Woogie just jokes around with his big, stupid grin. So once they get much further back into the Hall of Illusions, they see the man, but there's someone else there. There's just a little kid in a pig mask beckoning for him. The party can hear her ask, "Do you have any regrets?" But before he can answer, the party swoops in and saves him, and the little girl dips into the portal. The portal, which was a mirror, was back to normal. They were tapping on it, couldn't get into it. So they bring him out, and they realize that it was the doll that was making her laugh. So they reunite, and she says yes. And in a ceremonious embrace, they ran off to go get married. So the party gives Candlefoot back his voice as well. And Candlefoot, very happy and wondering how they got it back, the party doesn't exactly answer it. So next stop, they're going to kind of, get answers around the carnival to see if anyone else has more info on Mr. Witch and Light. So the party going around the carnival meets up with a bunch of the strange characters there. This bugbear with a giant pumpkin on his head named Hurley talks about how he lost his brother Curly, and as once he left into the Hall of Illusions, he never came back. Strange. Keep note of that, though. That will be very important for later. This displacer beast, who is in charge of a bunch of kids who were lost, said that he lost his cub. And he cannot look for it. So as atonement for this sin, he looks after all the other lost children. Then finally, we run into this lady named Miss Cloppington, who apparently was not always a centaur. She makes us figure out some riddles, and we figure out kind of a bit more of the secrets of the Witch and Light deal. We kind of put two and two together with some more information from Kettlestein that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light made a deal with the Hourglass Covenant, who consist of 3 hags. And they trap Zybilna in the tower that she resides in. And that our best bet to get into the Feywild to rescue her is to convince Mr. Witch and Light to let us into the portal. How we do that is up to us. We started kind of devising a plan, either to seduce them and take the keys necessary, or just interrogate them, or even try to win the monarch ritual. We end up kind of going with a mixture of the 3, strangely enough. And when we get in there, we were able to get a summoning with the owners, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Now let me tell you, this is probably one of the most memorable scenes in the campaign so far. I'd say at least top 5. So as we walk into their little backrooms area that is covered with a 6-foot tall bush of thick thorn berries, and Hurley in this weird fat fairy in the corner is just patrolling it. As we walk into what appears to be a wooden cart, Mr. Light is outstretched his hand saying, "Welcome." So as we get into the little rail cart, we kind of, get to one side of the room, Witch and Light gets to the other side. Now, the ones who are really talking is Boogie Woogie and Oleander and Mr. Light. Mr. Witch is more reserved. He is more in the back on the other side of the wall, kind of leaning, not really taking part of the discussion. So the conversation then turns to questioning about where they got the carnival. Why is it so specific about 8 years? Did anything happen? What happened to Hurley? What happened to Miss Cloppington? What's your beef with Kettlestein? Mind you, Kettlestein is there the whole time as a little raven on my shoulders, so that was pretty ironic. So Kettlestein would just been a little like, they're lying. If they were. Good thing they didn't. They're pretty honest people. Interrogation. Me, Mr. Light, and Oleander kind of joke around a bit flirtatious, and we end up becoming close friends. And as we have to make a trade of sort, information for something else, we are able to get the information about the Hourglass Covenant, which is what consisted of the 3 hags, and we realize more information about them, and that they are big players. The fact that they were able to free Zybilna was very crucial, and that Witch and Light can't talk about it because they were put under an oath is also crucial. Witch and Light aren't necessarily the bad guys here. They're just kind of doing what they can to survive, and because they can't talk about that, we are led to believe that it's really the hags we need to look for and dispose of. So after Boogie Woogie, Oleander, Mr. Witch, and Mr. Light is done with our trading, we get back to the rest of the party where they go off and do other things because, we're waiting. It took about an hour to get done with the trading. And they were going to shove their faces with cupcakes and the goblin wrestling, which we are never, ever letting little Jimmy do goblin wrestling again after what he had to make Kettlestein clean up his mess. Killing goblins in a carnival is never okay, especially when you're a big, strong barbarian. Never again, little Jimmy. Shame. And after we get this information, we are able to further our plan, and we are start to solidify a plan. Now, to learn more about what this plan is and how we will go about it, you are going to have to wait until the next episode. Now again, I am your storyteller Caden, and I will be signing out. But before I go, thank you for watching. If you watch to the end, you are helping all of our passions come true. And I stand on business about that because I am witnessing more D&D players. We are starting a D&D club at my school, and I'm kind of like the head of it. And there's so many new kids that are wanting to do it, so many bright faces, and I can't wait to go about DMing all of them and fostering their passions. So please, I will catch you in the next one. Signing off.